Good morning, everybody. Sorry, I'm running a little bit late this morning, just by a couple of minutes, but I am Sharon Wilcox, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm coming live to you from Chesapeake, Virginia. And I'm so happy that you could join me today, whether you're joining me live or you're catching me a little bit later on the rerun or even on my Facebook. Sorry, not Facebook, but YouTube. So today, I want to show you a few things. I'm sorry I missed you last week. I still have a bit of a, a cough and a froggy throat, but no fever, nothing like that. Took a COVID test, that was negative, so all is well. But it does take a bit out of you when you've been sick. So, and there's too much going on these beautiful summer days to be sick. So there we go. All right. Today I'm going to show you some watercolor, but before we do that, I want to show you two things. One, my t-shirt. I don't normally wear things with logos, but this is the new Stampin' Up! One, and demonstrators can order this, but I just love it. Inspire, create, share. And it's just such a cute fit. But I've been thinking, grab something over here too. I've been thinking that, and I looked it up, so it is doable, and I'll use one of John's old t-shirts to practice, but I'd like to have it a V-neck, not a big V, but just a little V-neck to give it a little more, make it feel a little more feminine. I'm not big on t-shirts to begin with, so at least not this kind, but a little V-neck, I might try that on an old t-shirt, and if it works, I might do it on this one. So if I do, I'll show you. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is hop down. I've got several things I want to show you today. Good morning. Several things I want to show you. So let me hop down here first. Let's get rid of my keyboard. Hop down here. Okay. So I want to start off by showing you Paper Pumpkin, only because this month's kit, I laughed when I saw it, because they did, and this is just so you're with me, this is July, okay, July 2020, and you actually have until August 10th to sign up for this one, okay? So this month's Paper Pumpkin did this fun fold. Remember, I've shown you how to do this? And the cards are just simple. I did not change anything. I did it just as they said because I loved it. I thought they were just adorable. And this one says, relax, you deserve it. And I love it. And even these little jewels that you see here, these little sequins, they came in there. Everything came in that packet. Okay. Trying to remember what color ink came in with it. Oh, here it is. It was the Daffodil Delight, which is a wonderful little cube. But when I stamp words, sometimes they're not bright enough for me. So I did change that and use the one of our new ink colors. Or is it an ink color? It's Tahitian Tide is what I used. I love Tahitian Tide. So I used that one. But I did all of them exactly as they said. So there you go. They were all scored and ready for us to go. I didn't change anything up. Do you not love the Adirondack chairs? Oh, I just love everything about that. And of course, living down here by the beach, that's just how it is. So the next one was this one. And I'll go through these quickly. I won't show you all of them because they're all exactly the same. Sending an Ocean of Love. I think that is adorable. And they really were fast and easy. Paper Pumpkin is just such a wonderful way to build your stamp supplies and create really cute fun cards. As you can see, these are. Now, I did stamp that one in the yellow, in the daffodil, and it did show up pretty nice. So I love it. Little surfboard, hello sunshine. Our oldest granddaughter has a Beach Boy theme and everything for her room. And of course she's got a beach board on her wall. and they loved coming down here, going to the beach. So that card might go out to her, even though she has a December birthday. I can just send her one that I'm thinking about her. Actually, she's making confirmation in October. So these are the envelopes. They're all the same, but I love it that the inside is adorable, the outside is adorable. And real quickly, let me show you the stamp set because it is pretty cool. Let me put something behind it. There. So you can get a good look at what's in those. The words, hello sunshine. Sorry, I was crabby. Oh my gosh, I love that. Waving hello, I see, SEA, brighter days ahead, sending an ocean of love, wishing you were here, relax, you deserve it. And this little bitty one says, sending sunshine to, and there you go. So yeah, and then there's a sun and a starfish. So really nice little set of words that goes with it. And of course you get your ink pad and so on. So what a great value in my opinion. They tell you what colors come with that and everything. And you can go online and find alternatives as well. So a very fun paper pumpkin. So let's move on to what I want to show you. And I haven't bought this through quite as much, but I have 4 ways of watercoloring that I want to share with you. And the first one I'm going to show you is using our blocks. This is just the acrylic block that we put our stamps on. This is number D or letter D. You could use any size. I have used this one. I like this look too. Oh, my blocks are a little dirty. I think it's time to clean them. This is block H. I like this size too, but I do tend to use this one for this technique more than others. And so the first one I'm going to show you is using markers right to your blocks. And seriously, over here I have a lot of markers pulled out, and let's see what other colors I really would like. Maybe here's what I've got laying over here. These are too awful light, so I don't think I'll use the really light color ones. Give me 30 seconds to turn around here. I think I want a little melon mambo and maybe even crushed curry. Crushed curry can get a little too heavy, so I'll set that aside, but I know I want that. So the best thing to do is you want to pick colors that go nice together. So for instance, if you were to put green next to your red or pinks or purples, you're going to end up with mud. So if you like brown, that's okay, but be careful where you do place those. A little bit of that blending is what you really want to happen. So I think I'm going to go with something like this. I'm going to take out the green for now. And you could just use 3, 2, you can use however, I mean, you can use a ton of colors if that's what you really want. Let me see how I want to do that. I think I'm going to go with this one and this one. Those go nice together. Let's throw a little purple in there and a little bit of blue. I think I might even throw a little orange. Okay, there we go. So basically, these are our Stampin' Up markers, and if you don't remember, they've been redone for the new catalog, so these are totally different. Now we have this beautiful tip on them versus the old one was like a pin, and it worked sometimes. It worked okay, but this one is fabulous. But this other barrel end is what we're using today, and you can see it has a larger stripe versus the other finer point one. And we're going to take that and just mark it right onto your block. And you're going to be able to see these colors pretty darn good. And this is Real Red, for those of you that want to know the colors that I'm using. And this is Daffodil Delight. And I don't stress too much if I get a little bit of, one color into the other. it comes off as you use them. You can rub it on your scrap paper too. This one is our pumpkin pie. As I say that, I think, oh, I better double check that. I'm going to use a little bit of purple. Now, this is where we can get a little muddy if we aren't too careful. And I'm going to use, and that was the actually gorgeous grape, which is pretty intense. And this one is Tahitian Tide. I love, love, love this color. You know, there's a little bit of glue or something on there. Oh, well, we'll just deal with it. So after you have done this, you can use regular cardstock or watercolor, either one. I'm just using our thick watercolor, and I'm using one of our spritzers. I love these spritzers because they are so economical. You get 2 in a package here. This is what the packaging looks like. You get 2 of these, and can you guess how much these are? They are ridiculously inexpensive. Both of these, $4. And I love them because it's a really nice fine mist. Really nice. So we want to take this mist, this thing. Let me grab another one that doesn't seem to have quite as much. Let's try this one. There we go, lots of water. And that's all it is water. So we spray that very generously on our stamp, and you can see what's happened there. And then we take our stamp, and you see how those colors, even before I put it down, had started to bleed. So you can see some of that down here. So let's see what we come up with. Okay, look at that. And you say, okay, that's nice. Now what do you do with it? I'll show you. But let me show you what it looks like when you do it on watercolor paper. I've got a little square piece here I'll use. And our watercolor paper is actually called Fluid 100. And it's 100% cotton. And I thought I had one more sheet left, but guess what? I don't. That's this. I think I might try using it because it looks just like it. So, but I just ordered some more of that yesterday. Ooh, let me just tell you real quickly. Okay, I'm going to go right back and I'm going to do exactly the same thing so that you can see this done on watercolor paper. And yesterday we had our pre-order for the September through December catalog. I know, it's coming up so quickly. It's so hard to believe this is already August, but that's how life is. So we could pre-order. As demonstrators, you get that opportunity to pre-order things and make samples and share and do. So I did have mine overnight shipped, so it should be here today. Woo. All right, I'm going to spritz this some more with our water. Okay, and now we're just going to flip that over and put it on our watercolor paper. And you can see the difference. If there is a difference. Oh, look at, I did make mud, but I'm okay with the mud sometimes. And see all that water? You create the look you want by letting that go. Now, if you didn't want to do that, I could have dried it right away. Or if you're in a hurry and want to get things done, you can use your heat tool and dry that. You see how your heat tool also will move that around? So I love that. But see the intensity of the color? It is different. It is different there. And I really am okay with these colors. It's kind of a purpley, whatever, grayish in there. So really pretty. Takes a little bit longer for it to dry on watercolor paper. And even to thoroughly dry, good enough for you to stamp on when you do this. But let me show you some samples that I've done. Let me clean this up too. I just use paper towel. You could use baby wipes, whatever, but this is the most convenient for me. And she's done. She's ready to go for another, whatever I want to use it for. Okay, so here's one that I did, and once it was dry, I stamped it with a big thank you. And my thank you, I'll try and show you what these came from. Good Feelings. Oh, love, love, love. There's two stamp sets that are similar but yet different. And the other one is Kindest Expressions. And I used both of these for some stuff. So that you're going to see today. So aren't those beautiful? I love when we have nice big words. But anyways, so this is the exact same technique, okay? Doing the exact same thing. So there's that. Now we can create and make these into cards or whatever. And I should see, I thought I had a card made. I don't, but I wonder if I've got stuff out here quick enough. You know what? Look, I've got this little piece of black. Perfect. I don't even have to trim that down. The edges are a little wonky here, but that's okay. Let's do that. Look at how that black pops that up. Now, I will tell you, when you're using watercolor paper, you want to use more adhesive than normal. And this is actually the Stampin' Seal Plus. Stampin' Seal is what I use when I make crafty things. And actually, I don't see my regular Stampin' Seal right here at this moment. So who knows where that walked off to. It's not like I've got other people in here stamping with me. It's just me. But you know how that can be. All right. I've got that, which is gorgeous. And then I've got this. Oh, that would look, oh, wouldn't that look pretty? Yes. That's what I need, is a piece of yellow. Let me see if I have some yellow. I have a lighter shade of yellow over here. How will that look? Will that pop it too? I kind of like that too. I think I'm just going to go with white. I really am pretty much like things to be just white sometimes. Flip that over because the other side's a little bent. I'm going to use some of these dimensionals, and the reason I'm showing you this from start to finish on a card is because I've heard from several people that you do like it when I make a full card, you know, make a card out of something instead of just showing you the technique. So that's what's happening this morning on at least this one, and maybe others. I don't know. You know, I got my, I got things done. But then I didn't really come up with, well, I think I want that literally right there in the center. That's pretty centered. Maybe. Just like that. Oh, I love that. Simple, beautiful. What more do you need for a thank you? And I would probably even take and do the same thing and just do a little bit in the corner to give it that oof when you open it up on the inside. So beautiful, simple. You know, you can always use some of our beautiful sequins, jewels, so on and so forth to put on there. Right off the top of my head. Oh, ouch. I do have some of these, but I think I'm going to pass on it. I really just like it is, but you understand, you got that whole concept of what you can do there. So, and these are still wet. So let's set that aside. Now, so that is using your markers to your block, and I do have a few more things that I'm going to create other stuff with. But I just wanted to show you. Here's what happens when you don't spritz enough water. And it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I would use it. This is our purple. And I think I used 2 shades of purple here. And the one is really light. And this is Seafoam Green. And what is this other one? I've got that light marker. Pool Party. Pool Party Seafoam Green. And oh, here's a marker right here. So it's probably Highland Heather and then our orchid. So, I mean, it's funny how you can see that color Well, maybe you can't in your lighting, but anyways, I can see that so well. But I will still use those. Here's one on the watercolor paper, and I did not spritz it enough, but I did stamp the words. And you know, I really wanted big bold words, bold color, I should say. But I chose Berry Burst, and I didn't like it very much. But once I create it, put it into the card, and I see a little scrap piece right here. Let's just so we can see. Yeah, and I would definitely be cutting some of this off and so on. But you get the gist of it. So there you go. Okay, so let me show you another fun technique to get some watercolor. And there are so many ways. I mean, I'm just touching on a couple different things that we can do here, but there are so many ways. Now, this next one, this is one of my favorites, and I do like to do this one on a little bit of cardstock versus, well, you can do it on your watercolor paper as well. I do have a small piece there. Um, and this time we're going to take our ink right to our block. And you can do this a couple of different ways. And one way is you can actually take your large size ink pads like this. I'm not going to do it on this one, but you can take your ink pads, get some here, get some here, get some here, however many you want. Do 1, 2, 3, like that. You got it? So you can do that. That's really easy way to do. But I have a lot of these ink spots. And oh, this purple is making me crazy. I might have to re-ink it, but I'm hoping not to do it this morning. But what I have is Flirty Flamingo, Pool Party, Gorgeous Grape, and Crushed Curry. Okay, so I'm going to take these ink spots. And here's the fun thing about ink spots. On page 137 of our catalog, you could buy 6 ink spots. They're whatever color they come in, and they're $24 for 6 of them. And because they're raised above their box, you can use it on the biggest of stamps. Okay, and that's one thing I love about ink spots. We used to sell all the colors in ink spots, but we don't anymore. But you know what we do have is we have uninked ink spots, and they're on that same page. I can't remember the price of them right off the top of my head, but they are a great value because if you have an inker, a re-inker, you can ink up the plain ones for whatever color combination you want. So I'm going to take a little crushed curry over here in the corner. Crushed curry is actually quite a bold color. All right. And I'm going to take a little bit of, let's use our Gorgeous Grape. Oh, that's got plenty of ink in it. The lid keeps wanting to come off of that one, which makes me a little crazy. And I'm going to use a little bit of our Flirty Flamingo over here. You see how simple this is, and you understand how you could just, you know, use, and I chose 4 colors because they fit so nice on this block. Yes, that is exactly how and why I chose 4, because it fit nice on the block. No other reason. 3 colors, 2 colors is amazing. So whatever you want to use. All right, taking our wonderful spritzer, and we're going to spritz some water, pretty generously amount of water on these, as you can see. You really like for it to kind of bubble up there. Look at that. Can you see I speckled my stamp? That's okay. I won't stress about that. Let's flip this over and stamp. And I moved it, which is okay. But you can see how you get all of those colors. Yeah, each time, doesn't matter if you're using markers or watercolor paper or stamps directly to your block, no matter what technique you're using, each one will be a little bit different because of the amount of water, because of the paper. So I kind of like this. Once this is dry, I love the speckle around there. And all of that is just from misting this ink. It just went onto there. So pretty cool. There are other ways to mist without accidentally doing it. So here's what this looks like when it is dry. I'm going to set this aside so I don't get it on something else. The exact same color combination. I didn't want to change that because I wanted you to be able to see it. And let me see if I have any more. I don't have any more because I used them on other things, I think. But that's okay. You get the idea. Yeah, that's the only one. And then here's a card I made with it. And I actually cut out using that one set that I love so much. This one, Stylish Shapes. And you see you get your stitching around there. I love that. And what stamp set did I use? This one right here. I love that. Thanks so much. And it's just in a bold black. And then I believe it was not this one. I've got another one here. I've got a whole bunch of stuff here. Not that one. Let's see. It's this one that I use, Dainty Delight, for this flower. Oh, I just love that flower. Is that the one? I don't know. Honestly, they all start looking the same. No, it's this one, Timeless Charm. I did use this, but Timeless Charm. See that flower right there? And I just did it in white, and there's your background. Now, this is something that I had planned on doing a week or so ago, and when I, got sick and couldn't, but my friend Michelle, who should be watching right now, typically is, I had shared with her it was something I was wanting to do. Well, she took the bullet and ran with it, and she made some gorgeous cards doing the same type of technique. So thank you, Michelle. And also, Michelle was the only one. She couldn't figure out how to post it on here, but she actually did show me a sample of her doing the wax paper technique. Remember, I asked you guys to show that to me 2 weeks ago. Well, Michelle couldn't post it. She sent me a message and I said, well, just show me what you got. And hers were absolutely stunning, beautiful, gorgeous cards. So, okay, so I pulled out the gorgeous grape cardstock to go with this because I thought that was beautiful. And I love how the center of the flower, when cut, was opened. I just think it's such a beautiful, delicate, yet makes a statement. And there's all kinds of pieces in here that will work great with everything. But, and there is a stamp set that coordinates with that as well. So tell me what you're thinking about these. I did not do anything on the inside. So here we have our markers to our watercolor paper. And this one is on watercolor paper. It tends to bleed a little bit less, but this one is not watercolor paper. So you can see our intensity is a little different. So, all right. So there is 2 ways of doing your ink pads directly and your markers directly to our blocks. Who knew these wonderful little blocks could be so useful, and besides for mounting our stamps on. So let's put those up there. And the third one is, again, we're going to use our ink pads, but this time I'll do the big ink pad, okay? And let me set this aside. And there are a lot of ways for you to do this. Let me grab the stack of ink pads that I had sitting up there. These are some of the ones that I had used. I'll throw Barry in there because I did use you, even though I felt you were a little strong. But that's okay. You always need the strong one in the group, right? All right. So in this case, people get a little concerned about your colors mixing and blending, and that is not an issue because our ink pads are meant to be used. They're not delicate, dainty little things. We have re-inkers to bring back your color if you feel like you've used blended your colors too much. And I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. I'm going to take this big. This is, first of all, let me just tell you, this is our largest block. This is great for background stamps. This is an F. This block is fabulous for a lot of things besides mounting stamps. It's a pretty hefty block, so if you ever need to hold some paper down to keep it from curling, whatever, or keep your glue set, while your glue set's perfect for that as well. There's a lot of things you can do with this block, but you can use this block. You can use any clear thing that you have. This is one of our cutting plates for our Stamp and Emboss machine. Big Ethel in my house, but Stamp and Emboss machine. Those of you that have our Stamparatus. Woo, dating myself. Stamp-A-Majig is an old thing that we had, which I still have in my drawer because you never know when you might need it. And do I use this still? Of course I do. This is one of my favorite tools. So I'm hoping that we get this redesigned and brought back. And the only reason they took it away was due to a lawsuit. Long, complicated story, but there you go. Stampin' Up! Is in compliance by removing it. So if you have this, this is fabulous. Just use this right here for your ink. And it's a nice big surface as well. So use whatever you have. Do you have a file folder that's, those covers that are acrylic? Use that. Whatever you have, that's what you want to use because you're going to be putting ink directly on there, just like that, onto your block. And I'm going to use 3 colors this time, or am I? I am, but I think I want to use, let me see. I don't know that I really want daffodil. I should have thought this ahead of time. I'm using greens and blues this morning because they're so popular. Let me throw a little bit of Coastal Cabana in here as well. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I did any samples with Coastal Cabana, so I might be making a mess, but that's okay. Okay, so you see there's a space here. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to go right up to that green. Did I get green on my ink pad? Oh, no, I did. It's not a big deal. When you use your ink, re-ink a little bit, wipe it off, whatever. I never wipe it off. Oops, and I actually got an awful lot of our Tahitian tie, but that's okay. We'll just throw a little bit of this down here on the bottom. There we go. And you can see the difference there. This has got more of some of that greeny color in it. So, and the first one was Granny Apple Green. So this is what I used. We'll see how that looks. We went this direction. There you go. Okay. Now we're going to take our little spritzer here, our water spritzer, and we're going to give this a nice, generous coating of water. All right, I think that looks pretty darn good. I'm going to turn it around this way because I do. And now you can really see the difference in those colors. So, oh, I don't have any big pieces of paper here, I'll just use this size. This is okay. And so after we've misted it, after we've got all of our color, we're going to take our cardstock and lay it right on here. And it's okay. I'm going to actually just lay the whole thing down. And somewhere I have my little tool here. This is from our Stamp and Emboss thing. Lift this up and look at those beautiful colors. All right, see how this is kind of a stark line there? I don't really care for that. So I'm going to go back in there. Let's make that little stark line. Try to make it go away. It doesn't seem to want to go away for me. I'm just going to get my fingers dirty. I was trying to not, but that's okay. But you can go back and forth, in and out as often as you want. Now I don't have enough color on here to do several, but if you're using a bigger surface, then you will. But isn't that just gorgeous? Now there's another part of this technique I want to show you, and this is one that Patty Bennett had showed. So let's go with some of the same colors. I really actually do like that, having that Coastal Cabana down there. So I think I'm going to use just a little lighter. And let's go with, oh, we've got Lost Lagoon. Ooh, I wonder how that'll look. You know, I just can't leave things alone, can I? Gotta change it up. But that's how I play and stamp. Now I'm just using the edge of my ink pad so that I don't fill the whole block. Okay, because I don't want all of it to be Lost Lagoon. And now I'm going to go in with our Tahitian Tide. And oh, pretty, pretty. That's going to be pretty. And you know what? I'm actually going to use 4 colors. Let's throw a little daffodil in there. Yeah, let's do that. This is so fun. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm boring you with this. But honestly, I have so much fun mixing and matching. And when I show you some of my samples, you're going to go, yeah, she had a little bit too much fun. Now, my favorite is using the watercolor paper. So I'm going to throw a little water on here to get this nice and wet. And then I'll use some watercolor paper to show you. How's that look? That looks really nice and wet. And you want a lot of water, guys. Don't be afraid of the water. You'll find the right combination as you're playing. So let's just throw this on here. Let's lift, and it gives you a whole different look. Oh, wow. You can create sunsets, you can create, and I love the little bit of water, you know, but if you wanted more of one of those, the blue was in the center and it seems to just take it all. But this one I love, it's just got just the right amount. Let me see, do I have, no, that's not, but I'm going to use it anyways. Let's see what we get with this. This is cardstock, not watercolor. Ooh, I love that. Let's go down here and get a little more of the yellow. Oh shoot, I was supposed to do that here. This is sea salt. I don't know if it'll help. I didn't do it immediately. You're supposed to do that immediately. And it's just sea salt, just regular everyday sea salt. And let me show you what that actually does. And you can see it is happening on this one. It gives you a whole different look. I didn't do it on that. I did not do it on these, but let me show you some different color combinations. Let's get this cleaned up before I make a big mess, a bigger mess. So my my fingernails, the other day when I was playing, I don't know if you can see it, it kind of, pink and green I always love together, but when it goes up underneath your fingernail, this stuff is called, it's my nail, but it's, you dip it into this powder and they heat it. Do they heat it? No, they actually brush this other stuff on it. And anyways, it sets it and whatever. But it's time for a new manicure, but when you get that green up underneath your pink, it kind of looks like a zombie finger. So yeah, I've had a zombie finger for a few days, but that's okay. That's okay. So when these are dry, then you brush off that salt, and that might be, yeah. Can you see what it did? It gives you that granule, that it gives you a whole different effect, okay? And you want to do it as soon as you take it out. See all of that? I like that look. Here's some different colors that I did. I haven't made anything with them yet, but you can see I've got the pinks and the yellows and the purples, and create a lot of different colors. So I'll do something fun with these, but these did not have the salt on them. But you notice every one is just slightly different. I probably used a little bit. No, I did not use any orange. That is just the colors blending. So then I thought, well, why not just do a whole big old sheet? And I actually did it right on here. So this fit perfectly on there. And I love it. I love it. There's nothing to say that you can't use this to create words, and we've got beautiful alphabets you could create and stamp and cut out the alphabets and create your own wording. We have dies that have words on them. I love all of that. Let me show you a few more of my pieces. They're over here. Ugh, yeah, I went a little crazy. All right, and I'll show you some that have the salt on them. This one does. And you see these beautiful fall colors. See how the salt did on this one? Yeah, I love that. It's so crazy looking. All right, here's one. Again, I didn't do the salt, but look at this one where I did. Can you see that? It's really amazing. All of this, it almost looks like it's been pitted or something. And I love the white parts of it as well. Kind of looks like your sea foam. Oh, I love it. Okay, I won't bore you with all of these. I'll go real quick. Ooh, look at that. No salt on that one. Look at the intensity of that. I love that. I love this as well. So all of these are going to get used into something. But let me show you what I did do. Needless to say, a sea turtle. I mean, if these don't scream sea turtles, nothing does to me. So there's our beautiful sea turtles. And I did stamp some little fish on the background. Another little sea turtle on the inside. So sweet, cute, but perfect. Die cut butterflies. Yes, we do not have that big die cut anymore, but those of you that aren't Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, I bet you have that. So I don't have it because of that reason, that it's been discontinued for us. So yeah, a little sad. These are still a little wet, but I'm going to stick these over there. You can really see where the salt was on this one. I love that. All right. And then this one, I stamped with black ink directly on there. But I love the intensity of the colors. I did cut it out with our deckled frames, which you know I love deckled frames. Oh, that's stitch frames. I love those too. But we do have a set that is deckled frames, and I don't have them quick enough, but I do have them. But that's what I did here. This is watercolor paper. I brought in some of this beautiful black check ribbon that we carry. I love this ribbon. I think it is so pretty. And stamped these flowers. Let me see what set. Do I have that? I do. Dainty Delight. Just love that. Love the font. And this is stamped directly onto my watercolor paper. Okay. So I didn't finish the inside yet, but that's okay. Here is another one that I think is just gorgeous. And I use frames from, let me pull this out and see if I can find them quick enough for you. I love to tell you what I use, because if I don't, then I feel like I'm cheating you. But never, never. I don't have it right here in front of me, but I will look it up. I know I had it right here in front of me before. So, but I used the watercolor that I did as the background. Isn't that beautiful? I just love that. So yeah, that set is not right here in front of me. I must have put it away when I was cleaning. But this little white piece, that's a die cut out of it. This is part of it as well, and this frame. And I just mounted that up with the words, just a note. So I just thought that was so pretty, and I love the simplicity. I love that. Remember when I did this one? I love that. I love the simplicity of those. So I also stamped this little leaf, which is part of the stamp set that goes with these dies on there. And you know, it really makes me crazy when you know you have something. Darling Details. So Darling Details will be the name of the dies as well. Okay. So then I thought to myself, why can't I just do a whole thing? So I did. I used that block. It had all these colors, which I believe is Daffodil Delight, Cajun Craze, Granny Apple Green, and this one is Lost Lagoon. Here's your Cajun Craze, here's our Daffodil, and when they all came together, that's what I got. And I did take the ink pads just like I was telling you earlier, and I went with this one and the next one and the next one and so on. And then misted it with our spritzer, and I had already die cut that. I did that ahead of time. And you know, here's just a few of these that I had pulled out. Let me see. Oh, you know, and I am sorry that I don't have them. Here it is, Gorgeous Garden. I love this because you get two of these backgrounds. This is the one that I used. This is the other one. I just wanted these beautiful leaves. I love this. And we have another one that I was thinking about using, and I didn't get it pulled out to use yet. And that was called Petal Patterns. But these are so beautiful on your cards as well, but just gorgeous on things like this where you get all of these colors. So, and you know, I'm showing watercolor today, but you could use this as with your sponge and sponge the color with your sponge brushes. Oh, I think I'm not going to do it today because we're running out of time here. This is way too long, but look at this. This is what I'm thinking. And I think that's much better than just doing white. I'm using the back of this card. White is really pretty too and stunning, but for some reason, I love the Lemon Lolly. Which one do you guys think is better? So when you're making your card, you decide which end is up, which end goes where, you know? I kind of like the brighter at the top, but it's really up to you. But fun technique. And so there you go. Okay, do you have time for one more quick one? Well, I hope it'll be quick. I think it'll be quick. We'll try and make it quick, right? Yeah, let me make this as quick as I can. Got a little something there. Let's flip the card over. That's because my paper's a little wet. So I want to show you a little bit of heat embossing. And actually, because we are so short on time, I still will. You can catch me later. Oh, wait a minute. If I don't have my embossing powder right here, I won't. Okay, so I won't. I'll just show you my sample, unless the embossing powder is hiding right there. It is. All right, so I am going to show you. Let's grab this stamp real quick. Let's use this one because this is the one no, it's not what I used. I used that one, but I'm gonna grab one of these big ones right here. This is what I had used before, and I'll use that again because it's the perfect size for this piece of paper as well. Let's get this mounted onto a block. We're going to take and this is going to be really super quick little demo. We have this little embossing pad that actually puts some resin right onto your cardstock to keep the embossing powder from going where you don't want it to. And we use Versamark ink pad and ink that up real well. And it's a clear ink, so it's hard to see, but I can see that there's plenty on there. I'm going to stamp that directly onto this card. Okay, good firm pressure too, because I want to make sure that we got it real well. And typically I use a piece of paper underneath, but I'm going to use our little tray today. We're going to sprinkle black embossing powder. Ooh, look at that. So pretty. All right. And it does come with a little brush. You can brush any excess away. You don't want to touch your words, though, like I just did. All right. And you don't want to blow it because that'll blow your powder away as well. You just want to do like that. I'll put this stuff away in a few minutes. And because I'm trying to do this quickly, let's turn on our heat tool. Now, a hair dryer is not quite hot enough. Your hair dryer, if your hair dryer was hot enough, it would actually be frying your hair. This is about 350 to 400 degrees. Some of them go up to 500 degrees. And it is called an embossing heat tool. You could have one in your garage for paint stripping, things like that. And it's really hard to see it, but I can see on my end what's happening, and it is melting that embossing powder that we put on. And when you look at it, when you're doing this, when it turns shiny, then it is melted, and that's wonderful. That's what you're looking for, your powder to melt. So because it is melting this powder, if you leave it on too long, two things will happen. One, you'll scorch your paper, but before that happens, your embossing will kind of go flat. Right now it's just slightly raised, and that's beautiful. We love that. But if you heat it too long, it just kind of goes flat, and it just is not as pretty. So I'm going to bring out, I think I'm just going to use maybe 3 colors this time. And I do this just like this and squish this ink pad lid up so that I can get some ink in there. I'm going to use Melon Mambo, and I'm going to use my favorite Daffodil, and I'm going to use Tahitian Tide. You know, why mess with a good thing, right? Of course, I could have used that Granny Apple Green, but oh, nope, just stick with your 3 colors that are right here on top. Be happy. Now, this time, instead of using our spritzer, I'm using these embossing, these watercolor pens, okay? And these 2 are on page 137 of our catalog. And you get 3 in a packet. I think I filled it. You get 3 in a packet. I don't have them all 3 here. Here's another one. This one you can see has a point to it. I think there's one that's even thinner, but this is the big one with the big tip on it, and that's what I like. So this does not hurt your ink at all. We're going to go right into this and pick up, and the stronger the color you want, you go right into where you originally did it. because we heat emboss this, it resists your ink. Isn't that beautiful? That's all you do. It's that simple, guys. I know. Sometimes I think we overthink things, make them a little complicated, but they don't have to be. I'm just rubbing this on some scrap paper before I go into my next color. Squeeze it to get a little extra water, because you do want it to be watery for um, your ink to flow. Pretty. And you can make it as intense as you want, but look at that. Oh, I love those colors. Yeah, beautiful. Wipe that off. I'm doing it on the side over here, sorry. Wipe that off, and let's go into our Tahitian Tide. Let's grab a little bit of that. Look at that. Now, if you just wanted watercolor and do one color, of course you could just do that. But that is how you get your color when you want to have it a little more direct, so you know where you're going with that. Let's get these closed up real quick before I make a mess and stick one of my cards or something in it that I don't want. Now, I did not make any cards with this, but you can do this on watercolor paper. Let's see, this one is watercolor I did earlier. It's all nice and dry, but you can see on your watercolor paper, your colors will bleed and blend a little more, which I love. I love. But fast, easy watercolor looks. Here's one on the regular cardstock as well. And this is actually our thick thick ultra white or basic white thick cardstock. Get those names straight. They change them constantly, so you never know. This little thing came with this set, and you get your tray, you get your tweezers, you get your little powder. So it's wonderful for embossing. The whole little kit comes for like $31, I think it is. Let me pop me back up here. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I think it was fun. I have a tray here full of goodies, and I really wanted to make some more beautiful things with these. But I'm going to pop you down one more second here. Look at some of these things. Yeah, look at this. It says love you. You see that one? Love you. I even had this because I thought this was so pretty done in black. Here's one where I cut out the center. And I thought I would use this, but I didn't care for it as much. But I think it'll have a place, probably with some fall leaves. And I kept that little piece as well. But here's more pieces. But I kind of am falling in love with these things that are done in black. So like I said, we don't have any butterflies right now, or dies that I can think of. The one set that we do have, and I probably will use and can use, see, like on that, oh, beautiful. Yeah, is one of our, and look at the size of these. These are much bigger than what they appear on the front, because they can't get all of that. But this is one of those double-sided ones, like the turtles, where you have one side then the other. You know, the smooth side for your solid and the front side for your detail. So, and that's Enchanted Butterfly. But, you know, I'm amused by these, or amazed by these beautiful flowers. I think I'm going to be doing something with those. It's hard to tell, but this flower, yeah, really cool. I like the whole set. So I intended to do something with it, but just ran out of time. So there you go. And this week was full of things, things to do in the neighborhood, things that we were doing, National Night Out. You know, I'm on the social committee, so that required some time and baking and so on and so forth. And John and I run the popcorn machines. We have fun. Cops come and we just enjoy, and all the neighborhood kids came. We had a lot, and we played bingo and all kinds of fun things. But anyways, Now, I am going to be leaving here on the 21st of August, going to um, Salt, no, I'm going back to Vegas. This time I'm taking John, and we're staying at this really beautiful, swanky Red Rock Canyon Casino Hotel Spa thing, only because that's where the Stampin' Up event is. So I'm excited about that. But then we are taking another week and a half or so. We're going to be out there for a full week because we're going early, and to sightseeing around that area. Not necessarily Vegas Strip because that's not John's thing, that's my thing. And we're going to be gone. So I will be jumping on a couple of times, I think. Like I should have jumped on yesterday or day before, whenever, and showed you those paper pumpkins. But sometimes I just getting it all together to do. It's easier said than done. But over the next couple of weeks, I might be jumping on sporadically just to show you something, especially with the new stamp sets and this new September through December catalog. It is chock full of beautiful Christmas things. Um, it's just a gorgeous. It's got fall. It's, if you're into Halloween, oh my gosh, there is an adorable stamp set. There's even glow in the dark paper. Okay, so lots of fun things. Um, but I have an awful lot to do as well before leaving. So that's why I'm saying I might be a little sporadic. I might just pop in for, 5 minutes if I can shut up in 5 minutes and show you. But you know what I'm saying. So if you do not have your Facebook Live set up for to subscribe to me so that you know when I'm coming on, please do that. And thank you so much for watching. And if you would please give me some hearts or a thumbs up, help me grow my Facebook Live page, I would really appreciate it. And I know I have a lot of people who watch me, but they don't always comment. And that's fine. You don't have to. You can stay anonymous. That's not the right word. I can't say that word this morning, but you know what I'm saying. And that's okay. But if you can give me some love, show me that you're here, let me know. Share this with other people that have an interest in stamping and crafting and whatever, let me know. And I will be jumping on probably in the next day or two and showing you some of the new kits. Just all kinds of fun things coming. So I'm probably going to be on a little bit more than usual. Catch me when you can. And until next time, happy stamping. Take care. Love to all. Be kind to yourself. Bye-bye.